Hello, darlings, and welcome to Thursday Night Live. In today's news, the USA are allowing Ukraine, with strict limitations, to use their weaponry to attack Russian troops behind Russian lines in Russian territory. Former President Donald Trump is now a convicted felon. And I am still demonetized. There we are. How are you, darlings? How has your day been? It's lovely to be with you again. God, I'm having a bad hair day, aren't I? Oh, dear. It's lovely to be with you. And yeah, I suppose we got to carry on from last night, really, haven't we? I've got a lot of people to thank for various things. I'm feeling it a bit today, as you might expect. It turned into a very late night last night. Not just what we were discussing, but something else happened too to some friends of mine, and it ended up being a very late night indeed. And then today's been kind of, yeah, so I'll tell you the truth. I didn't get out of bed until about 12 o'clock. I was absolutely, but there we are. There we are. There we are. So, right. Well, let's see who we've got with us. Jimmy, the mighty Quinn, is here. Says good evening, both. Peter P is here. Good evening, all. Matron is here. I didn't think you'd be here tonight, Matron. Oh, has the M11 headed back home, or is it an overnight thing? I thought you two might be out on the town somewhere. Hello, all, says Matron. Good evening, all, says Bad Books. Carl, World of True Crime. Good evening, folks. Barry Scrotter is here and says, evening, ABC Matador fans. Oh, Liz is here, the lovely Jabberwocky 220 GTI. Hope you're feeling better today, Boaty, says Jimmy. And the restaurant has given you a big pay rise. Well, that hasn't happened. Unsurprisingly. Simone is here but won't be for long. She's got to get up at 6. And the M11 is here. Good evening, Boaty and all. And Steve KS is here, says hello all. Hello to you, Steve. Andrew Buttigieg is here. A very good evening, Boaty and everyone in the chat. Hope Boaty has some good news. James Ray is here. Good evening, Boaty. And all. Mustard's here. Good old Captain Mustard. I had a long chat with him on the phone today. The lovely Trisha Alderman. Neil, the lovely Neil, aka the Gibbon hater. Who's just got back from go-karting with Sophie. Who won? Who won? I mean, you've got the advantage in terms of driving experience, Neil, but, go-karting, as I know to my cost, it's kind of a power to weight ratio. And Sophie weighs somewhat less than you, Neil, I think it's fair to say. So that could have been quite a competitive little match, that. Hope you're feeling a little better today, Boaty. Thank you, Simone, my lovely. And the M11 has just arrived home from visiting Tracy via loads of trains. Literally just got in and straight into my bed for some Boaty. That's the spirit. Jazz Brown's here. Hi, Boaty. Hope you're holding up okay. Washy Girl says hi from Washington, Tyne and Weir. John Stoodley is with us. Hey, Boaty. Hey, chat. HW100 or HW100 or HW100 is also with us. Good evening, Boaty and all. The lovely Mark Prasad is here. Good evening, Boaty and all in chat. James Ray says, hi, Neil. Thanks to you and Sophie for accepting my friend request, and to yourself too, Mr. Tickles. Oh, here we go. Neil's got some news. Sophie is a cheating shit. 6 of us in total went, and she smacked us all off the track. Well done, Soph. Mr. Stephen Paddy from Port Sunlight in the Whittle, the Leisure Peninsula, is with us and says, how's your day been? Hopefully getting better, Jason. And did you manage to speak to your big boss? As you told us, he treats you like family. Yeah, but I mean, it's true that they treat me like family, but that that doesn't necessarily mean well. But good evening, Stephen. Gosh, right. So, well, I'll tell you where to start. Let's have a nice glass of wine, shall we? Well, I think about what to say. I mean, the first thing to say is that it's not all a bad dream. I was kind of hoping it would be, and that I'd wake up and I'd think, oh, that was a bad dream. But unfortunately not. There we are. But every cloud has a silver lining, does it not? And the one thing that I went to bed last night feeling, and feel even more so today, is that, kind of bugger the videos, bugger the monetization, bugger YouTube, and quite frankly, bugger some people as well. The feeling I've got overwhelmingly is that this community of ours is an incredibly worthwhile and rather wonderful thing. I kind of knew that anyway, of course, but it's very much been reinforced. So I should certainly say a massive thank you to each and every one of you, and many other people who might not be watching at the moment, but who might watch at some point in future. I should say a massive and heartfelt thank you to all of you for helping to build this, helping to make it happen, and being part of it. Oh, Pocahontas 100 is with us. Oh, Neil's in good spirits. Pingu's here. Hey, Boaty, chin up. It's nearly wine o'clock. Wine o'clock is 7 minutes late, says Bad Books. Cheers, darlings. You're very good health. Okay. Oh, that's rather nice. So, updates. There's absolutely no point in appealing the thing. So, yeah, it's going to be 3 months, and then all should be well, all should be back to normal. Obviously, I need to clear all of the non-original content off the channel. That's fairly easily done, just hitting the delete button. I'm just debating whether I can be bothered to start a totally separate channel just to put all of that stuff on, because as I said to you last night, the reason all of that stuff is on there is I wanted to share it with you, make it easier for you to find, so that you had complete series of things in chronological order, in decent quality. It took time and effort, and I got nothing back from it. I earned nothing from it, but I got a nice warm feeling that I know a lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of people commented or messaged to say so, especially the two fat ladies, the Keith Floyd stuff, Chance in a Million. Remember, I put the first two series of Chance in a Million up there. So yeah, it's not a problem to obviously delete everything off the channel. It's whether I make put the time and effort into just whacking it on another channel that will obviously never be monetized because it would be completely unoriginal content. So at least it's still out there and can be seen. So haven't made a decision on that yet. You know, as I said last night, priorities are to you know make sure that things go on. Right, before I go any further, I really should. I've got various people to thank for various things. First and foremost, I probably missed comments last night. I wasn't going through everyone religiously. So obviously somebody or some people shared my email, my PayPal email, and some people very kindly bunged money into it. So, and I need to say a massive thank you to them. Alan Searle, Trisha, the lovely Trisha, Neil, of course, Mark Pratt, Simone, bless you. I was particularly touched by that because I know that you're not exactly well blessed financially. Stephen Grayling, bless you. Peter P. And of course the lovely Jimmy Quinn. So massive thanks to you all. It's obviously going to make a difference. It's obviously going to help. And I thought it was probably a good idea to get this bit out of the way early because I'm incredibly touched. But there are other people that I need to thank as well because I've had messages from people, phone calls, just offering support, saying, look, if you need this, that, or the other, then don't hesitate to get in touch. All of that sort of thing. Liz, bless her. Liz being a lady type person, sort of concentrated on the basics and said, the thing I would worry about you leaving the restaurant is that you would lose your access to free food. So if that happens, call me, give me a shopping list, and I will bring you enough shopping to see you through which I thought was really lovely. Mustard was on the blower first thing, bless him. And then messages from various people. As I say, saying that anything if you need anything, don't let pride get in the way, etc., etc. So, or just saying, sorry to hear what's happened, or in a couple of cases, sorry but not surprised to hear what's been happening, what's been going on. And the very specific phrase that quite a few people have used is I've got your back, or we've got your back, which is lovely. Oh, bless you, Simone. Okay, sleep tight. Have a good day tomorrow. 6 a.m. start. See you soon, hopefully. Thank you to everybody who's messaged. As I say, Liz, Name Me -1, Richard Mann, Simon, bless him, Simon of Smashing Pistons, Pingu, the girls of course, all of So yeah, bless you. Oh, Neil, I know, mate, but oh, thank you, John. I mean, Neil and I spoke for a long time last night. It was yeah, a bit emotional to be honest, but it's good. It's good. It's good. So, what does that mean going forward? Well, it means that aside from anything else, the community side of things is just fantastic. So, and obviously, the community has come up mostly, I think it's fair to say, around the live streams, hasn't it? Because this is like a kind of communal meeting point, isn't it? And other live streams as well now. Mustard's obviously, you know, the girls' live streams. There's the Emerald Boaty now. So I mean, the one thing that's blazingly obvious is that no matter what, the live streams must continue on a daily basis. Um, and that's a selfish thing as well, because God knows I need them. I need them. It's made such a difference to it's such a difference to me. I keep saying it, but I can probably maybe it gets boring. But on the other hand, I really can't say it enough that since I started doing this, I haven't really had a major wobble. We'll have wobbles, you know, day to day. Whatever situation we're in, financially or whatever, we all have wobbles, don't we? And since starting this, I've not had a really major one because no matter what happens, at the most, I'm 23 hours away from having this time with you guys. And, you know, it you guys put things into perspective or make me give my head a wobble. And, you know, I hope it works the same, vice versa. So, again, thank you all for that. Oh, hello, Ben's here. Ben is here. Good evening, all boaters stranded on the M11. Hello, really? And she'd only just got into bed. Apologies for being AWOL for most of May. I'm, pre- I'm prepared for Trace to administer an admonishment, more like a punishment. You're stranded on me, says the M11. Yeah, I was surprised at that. Um, any update from your job, Sarah Parsons? No, but I wasn't expecting any. Um, we've been really quiet all week. It's been a terrible week. And then tonight, for no reason, everything went mad. The restaurant was full. Takeaways were busy. No idea why. It's been a really busy night. So, if anything was going to be discussed or anything was going to happen, then realistically it wouldn't be before Monday because, you know, busiest time of the week. It's just all going to be about. It's all going to be about work, really. Obviously, Monday the restaurants are closed. The guys normally meet up in some form or another, either at each other's houses or at some more official gathering. So we'll see if anything happens on Monday, and if not, I'll probably have a word with Bish on Tuesday. I've been thinking it over again today, and I don't think I'm being unreasonable in asking for something a bit more solid. Or, well, there's kind of two ways, isn't it? You know, either we move forward with something a bit more solid, which at least if it doesn't immediately give me the opportunity to create income for them and for me, at least it's something solid in terms of working towards it. And if there isn't anything like that, then okay, fair enough. But then I'll just back off from doing all of the additional stuff that I've been doing, and back away from front of house and all of that, and just look for. I wouldn't want to leave totally. I would hate to do that. I would hate to do that. They are like family. They do love me to bits. They do care about me. They might have some sharp business practices, to say the least. But when I say they treat me like family, and they say that I am family, that's absolutely true. But that is how they treat their families. If you came and did a couple of shifts at the restaurant and saw the difference at the way that Ram, for example, if you looked at the difference in the way that he treats his daughter, Jyoti, who is like the best member of staff in there when she's there, and the way that he treats others, you'd be quite surprised, if one of the others made a mistake, then he would just say, oh, you've made a mistake there, try not to do that again. If Jyoti made a mistake, he'd bawl her out. And the reason is that your family, you can say what you like to your family within reason, obviously, because they can't leave you. They can't stop being family. If you shout and bawl at somebody who isn't family, then they'll just say, "Well, sod you. I'm not coming back here." Or they'd probably say it in a Nepali accent. And there aren't all that many members of staff available. The Nepali community, it's not tiny, but it's not huge, and they all own bloody restaurants. So usually there are more jobs needing filling than there are people to fill them. So you kind of have to take what you can get and make the best of it, unless you employ British or others, and they don't want to do that because they want silly things like minimum wage and sick pay and holiday pay and all of those nonsenses. Much better to have one of your own who understand that this is not the way that we work. But yeah, I think at this point, with all of the promises over the years, and and even though I've not really been earning sufficiently, I've stuck with it out of loyalty and out of love and so on. But there's always been a promise that, stick with us. We will look after you. We'll do this. We'll do that. We'll do the other. Yeah, it's just kind of time that something happened there. I mean, that upstairs, most of you have seen it. I've showed you pictures. That's still sitting there empty, and it's not going to be getting any better. It's going to be getting more damp. It's going to be getting more and more infested with rodents and whatnot. And it's not earning anybody any money. It's just a completely wasted space. So, I mean, what Bish really needs to do is he needs to get back onto the landlord and push him into one way or another, either selling the entire building, or just doing a deal extending the business lease to upstairs as well as downstairs, and coming to a deal on the work that needs doing. It's going to need tens of thousands of pounds spending on it, but it's sitting there empty. It's not it's only degenerating in terms of condition, and it's not creating any income for the guy that owns it. So if he doesn't want to just sell it and get rid of the headache entirely, then why not give it to us? And just give it to us rent free for X amount of time, and we'll do the work on it. And we'll put it to work, and we'll make it livable, and we'll make it viable. We'll invest the money in it, and that way, immediately the landlord would be getting his property restored and maintained, and in the longer term, he'd then be getting an income from it. But Bish is just so busy. So if he hasn't got the time to do that, then we need to go back to plan B, which is what was supposed to happen at the start of this month, if you remember, like a whole month ago now, where he just gives me the authority and the power to deal with all of this stuff and get stuff going on. Same with Clay Cross. We need planning permission because upstairs at Clay Cross is supposed to be an Airbnb as well. Another massive, really quite exciting space, actually, that again would work really well. But unlike Ripley, Clay Cross has only got internal access to upstairs because, like Ripley, Clay Cross was a pub, a huge pub, but historically it was a pub. And the access to upstairs is only internal. And obviously, for the Airbnb to work, we need an external exit, and that means planning permission. But I'm no expert on planning permission, God knows. But I would imagine it would be an automatic thing, because if you're converting the upstairs into whatever, whether it's a couple of flats or Airbnb or whatever, then by law you've got to have a fire exit, haven't you? So I'm assuming that planning permission would be an absolute given, and bearing in mind that we own that building now, so why not crack on with that? Now I know that Bish is so busy, and we want to open a third restaurant, and everybody's champing at the bit to do it. But Bish, he's one guy. He's got his own political ambitions. He and his wife are politicians now. They're both presidents of things, and they have ambitions, and they've only got so many hours in the day, so nothing's getting done. But okay, right, well, we understand that. So let's do what we said we were going to do. We've known each other a long time. You trust me, I trust you. Let me just crack on with it. And then he doesn't have to bloody worry about it. So, yeah, maybe next week I need to grab Bish, have a proper meeting, have a sit down, and just push him either one way or the other so that I know what I need to do. And if and if for whatever reason he doesn't want to go ahead down that route, then I know where I stand, and I can just look for a part-time job during daytime hours. I could even go and bloody do Uber Eats or something, couldn't I? Delivering for McDonald's or whatever, something like that. Just something to do. Something to do during the day. Bring an extra few quid in. Do the restaurant. Do the restaurant at night, but scale back a little bit, and obviously do YouTube as well. I mean, that's the other thing, isn't it? I'm going to carry on doing YouTube, of course I am. So okay, for the next 3 months, I'm not going to earn anything out of it. You guys have said that you'll support me, bless you, and some of you already have. So that's going to carry on. It was probably always going to, wasn't it? I can't. And for that to carry on, that means that I'm not The one thing that I'm not going to do, I've kind of realised that I've decided, is to go and do one of the things I was considering, which was to go back to the delivery driver thing and do what I used to do, which was to do 6 days, 10 to 12 hour shifts, um, because that would just wipe out anything else in life. It would mean that I wouldn't have the time and energy to do YouTube. The restaurant would be obviously out of the window, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. There must be, if the thing with my restaurant people, if that's not going to go anywhere or not going to go anywhere for the foreseeable future, there must be some sort of job I can get for 3 or 4 hours a day, um, during, during the daytime, that would bring in just those extra few quid. So, oh, excuse me. So there we go. There we go. Not selfish, mate, says Steve. We all need these things of our own as well. Um, oh, says Ben, I detect something unwelcomely momentous has occurred. Yeah, something like that. Oh, and Matron's explaining. What about doing some agency work in the daytime, says Mr. Stephen Paddy. Um, yeah, absolutely. He is. And he points out that Mustard is like a brother to me as well as friends. And yeah, I guess that's true. I guess that's true. It's amazing, actually. I mean, we joke about it and whatnot, but it is amazing how close Mustard and I have become in a relatively short space of time. But then the same goes for a lot of you guys as well. It's yeah, it's lovely. But yeah, there must be something I can do during the day. Must be. Ben is apologising to the M11 for the imposition, as in being stuck on her. It is, however, why the Highways Agency have been constantly harassing you. Sarah, I can't answer that because I can't go on record as answering that, but no. Steve W says, look after number one unless you have shares in that business. A promise is worth nothing. Yeah, well, that's kind of the trick. Now, you're right. You're absolutely right. Now, I know these guys, the guys that I work with on a daily basis, that we're like at the coalface together. You know them all, mainly Ram, obviously. I know exactly where I stand with them. I know where I stand with Bish. The guys that I work with on a daily basis, they're kind of as frustrated with Bishnu as I am, because they want to move forward with things as well. Ram is exceptionally keen that we go down the third restaurant route and possibly further, but he wants to be doing that like yesterday. And we've all kind of worked hard to put things in place so that that can happen, and we've worked with it. We've got the visa arrangement. We're accredited now, so we can bring. I was talking about the staffing situation and how difficult that can be. We've worked around that. We're licensed now to bring people over from Nepal on 5-year work visas. We have to guarantee accommodation and the wage and so on and so on and so on. But that's not a problem. So we're totally in a position to start a third restaurant now, because of this is kind of counterintuitive. Because so many Nepalese restaurants in the East Midlands have started popping up, then how can I put this? they don't have the exotic niche that they used to have, because they're I don't know what it's like where you guys are, but where we are, there are just so many of them. Now, we were the first. We were the first in the area. And so we've got a long established track record. We've got a loyal customer base. Doesn't matter how many other people open, we'll be fine. Especially as, again, if Bishnu would just let me have my way, um, uh, I start making some changes to give us that, make sure that we maintain that competitive edge over everybody else. But other businesses, because God knows the Nepali people, they're kind, they're sweet, they're the hardest working people I've ever met. They're not business savvy, or very few of them are. And you've got idiotic situations where you've got a successful Nepali restaurant, like ours, so we've got one in Claycross here, one in Ripley there. So some other chap thought, well, they've got two successful restaurants here and here. I'll open one right in the middle here, which they did 2 years ago. And they opened it big style. They bought the building. They bought the building, opened the restaurant. We said to them, don't do this. It's not good, blah, blah, blah. But they just thought, these are successful restaurants. So if I open in the middle, of course, I will be successful too. Absolutely died on its arse. Totally died on its arse. Absolute disaster. And it would have closed 18 months ago, except they own the building. So it's not that easy. And that's been going on in quite a few places. Somebody's saying, right, this restaurant is successful, this Nepali restaurant is successful, so I will open as close as I can to it, and then I will be successful too. And of course, you're not going to be. At best, you're going to split the trade in that catchment area in half, 50%. So at best, you're going to get 50% of the available trade. At worst, you're going to get sod all, because the restaurant that's already there is established. And what are you going to do that's different? Are you going to be better? No, because again, they haven't got any, they've got no savvy up there. So they don't come in with anything different. They just copy the menu of the restaurant that's already there. So what else can you do? Compete on price? You can't do that. That's just a downward spiral. You undercut somebody in terms of price, they're going to undercut you, and it just goes down and down and down and down until you're both out of business. So the reason I'm telling you all of this is that there are restaurants this has been going on long enough that restaurants are now failing. And people who owned restaurants and have lost money now need to work as a head chef or as a tandoor chef. So there are some available. Waiting staff, still really difficult. Front of house staff, still really difficult. Managers, still really difficult. But there are chefs around. Which means that we are in the perfect position now to open that third restaurant. I know exactly where it needs to be opened. Well, not exactly as in the actual building, although I've got 3 earmarked. But I know the rough area where it needs to be. We would have no problem staffing it. In terms of financing it, we've got all the money in the world. Oh, hopefully you're back. That's not happened for a while, has it, darlings? The interwebs are scoped out the window. So what was I saying? I don't know where I cut off. Oh. Anyway, the point is that we really should be opening a third restaurant. Anyway, now then. Emil says, if you're about to receive corporal punishment from matron, would you please vacate the M11 first? Yeah, you wouldn't want to be caught with friendly fire, would you? M11 said, yep, I said Uber Eats, etc. last night. It's very flexible and you can choose your hours and shifts. I might need to look into that because I'm sure they do it down in Chesterfield. McDonald's and KFC and all of that. Hello, Ross. Mustard says, I will buy lunch, even though it's not my turn. Well, greater love hath no man. Can we have international chippy, though? I really want international chippy. I'm all Istanbuled out for the moment. And Steve KS says, great idea, Emma. There seems to be loads of food flying around being delivered these days. I know, John. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that. None of us would be really upset if you had to cut back on candles, says Ross. I nicked these from work. All channel members have to do, says Matron, is to bungee their payment that would have gone through YouTube through PayPal instead. And any super chats or extra donations can be done the same way. And Neil says, I agree, Tracy. He also gets 100% of it. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that is true. YouTube take a massive cut of what they call, what do they call it? Oh, fan funding. That's what they call it, isn't it? Fan funding. And they take a massive bloody cut of it, up to like 60%. But they do make it easy to do, I suppose. They make it nice and easy when you're on the live stream or whatever, or you're commenting, it's all right there. All you've got to do is hit a button. But yeah, I mean, it makes your pound goes a long way further if it's directly done through PayPal rather than through YouTube. That's definitely true. Talking about community, says Steve KG, I'm new to this channel. I've been watching Paul for a fair old while, and I just get a really honest and wholesome vibe. This is only my fourth live split between Boaty and Project Nigel, and I feel comfortable enough to chat already. Oh, that's brilliant. I thought I didn't recognize your name. It's slightly different to Mustard's because I do my lives horizontally rather than vertically, which means that these live streams don't go on the VLF, the vertical live feed, which is like thrown out to everybody. So that Captain Mustard will get lots of completely brand new people in. And some of them are lovely, some of them are trolls, some of them are idiots, some of them are boring. But it makes it, a really interesting, fun dynamic. I'd love to watch all of them, but he always does his when I'm at work, because I do mine when I'm not at work and we don't want to do them at the same time. I deliberately keep these, apart from Monday night, I deliberately keep these away from that, so that the only people that are going to be coming into this are people that, people that are in my inner scrotum, as we call it. So it makes for a nice, comfortable dynamic. We all know each other. If somebody new, like yourself, fairly new, does come in, then hopefully you get the feeling that you getting involved in an established thing, and we're all friends and we're all together. And things are a little bit odd at the moment because of something that happened yesterday. So this isn't the way that a live stream would normally be. But there we are. There we are. And newcomers are always welcomed, very much welcomed. Welcomed indeed. Steve, we are mental, says Neil, but we have one another's backs. Welcome to the madness. Neil, you all know each other, and that's amazing. Yeah, we do. We do. I mean, these live streams have been going for, I don't know, 18 months, is it now? Are we coming up to 2 years, maybe? And yeah, we're like a dysfunctional family. I've said before, the way I love to think about it is that we've all got separate lives, maybe families, different lives, different, but whatever. And for an hour a day, or maybe a little bit more, we'll gather round together around a virtual table, and we have a glass of wine or a cup of coffee or a bacon sandwich, depending on what, where we are in the world and what our time scale is. And we just hang about for a bit, catch up with each other. If somebody's having a bad time, we pat them on the back. If they need help, we support them in whatever way we can, and or we just have a damn bloody good laugh and set each other up for a good day ahead or a good night's sleep or whatever. And I think it's just fabulous. And talking about turning negatives into pluses and bacon sandwiches and things like that, because my head's been all over the place, as you can probably understand, I've not shopped as efficiently as I should. I had no sugar for 2 days, but bless her, Nikki Nunu next door, I went and cried and she kept me supplied with sugar. I eventually remembered to buy some last night, actually. Was it last night or the night before? I think it was actually last night. Today, I forgot to buy bread. So I've got no bread for my morning toasty. Now, I don't have an extravagant breakfast. My breakfast is a glug of really good apple juice. Thus, a strong black coffee and one slice of toast, lavishly buttered with just the right amount of way too much. And I've got no bread for tomorrow. But, turn a negative into a positive. Thanks to Neil and Sophie, who stayed with me here at Windy Bum. Oh, that's a thought. Bloody hell. Oh, of course. Channel members, one of the perks of being a channel member is you have the option, should you be foolish enough, to stay here in the guest suite here at Windy Bum and have me cook for you and give you alcoholic beverages and things like that. And I haven't got any channel members now, have I? But same thing applies. Anybody who supports me in any way, whether it's just putting up with my videos, putting up with the live streams, bunging a couple of bob here and there, you're all welcome. In fact, anybody watching this, you're welcome to stay here. And Neil and Sophie stayed here whenever it was. Not the Monday just gone, but the one before. And we went shopping and they bought things. And they bought 2 packs of bacon and said, we'll eat one, which we did, put the other one in the freezer. And I did, but I've taken it out of the freezer and it's into the fridge. And I've got no bread, but I've got 3 bread rolls in my freezer. So the bacon is going to defrost overnight. I've got no toast tomorrow morning, but I am having a breakfast upgrade, darlings. I've had a shitty couple of days. Life has decided to drop some poo right on my head, and I will counter that and say, bugger you, life. I can say fuck you. I can say fuck. This isn't monetized, is it? They can't demonetize me again. They can't demonetize me twice. So I fuckity fuck fuckity fuckity fuck. So I can say fuck you, life, and your turd on head type activities. I'm going to counter you by having a bacon roll tomorrow morning, and that's what I'm going to do, darlings. That bacon is defrosting tomorrow, Saturday, and possibly Sunday as well. I'm going to start my day with my coffee, apple juice, cigarette, obviously, I'm not an animal, and a bacon roll. I've got 3 rolls in there, and I have got, check this out, that's being deployed tomorrow morning. Now, seriously, how bad can life be when you've got lovely friends and the prospect of a bacon roll in the morning when you roll out of bed? Eh? I should rub it up. Sarah says it sounds like they're full of promises. These guys clearly has no interest in the business. Apply to some jobs that have good paying conditions. I understand you saying that. It's not entirely fair. They've got a lot of interest in the existing business because it pays them very well. And yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to get across. It's difficult to get across. It's not as it's not quite as straightforward. No, or maybe it is as straightforward as it seems, and I'm just giving them um, too much benefit of the doubt. I haven't really pushed on this yet, and Ram said to me last night and said to me tonight, I told you he was going to close the restaurant early yesterday so that I could find out where Vishnu was and go and grab him. And I'm not going to do that. And I didn't do it today. I need to do it next week, don't I? Really? So, yeah. I need to just sit down and say, look, this is the situation. He kind of knows, but he just gets carried away with all the other stuff that he's got going on. So yeah, I just need to. It's weird, isn't it? It's weird, but yeah, I need to grab him, and I just need to say, look, this is a situation. I can't carry on in limbo. It needs to be one thing or the other thing. And Ram was telling me to go and do that, and that's probably what I need to do, isn't it? Oh, Russ, you little tinker. If you want to sell sheaths, then I may have a buyer for them, says Pingu. I don't want to sell sheaths, but I'm not in a position where I can refuse to sell anything. So if somebody's interested, then yeah, sheathen or any of the others would be available. I can't. I can't, on the one hand, claim poverty and say, pity me, I'm skint, and then refuse to sell a car. So anybody who wants to buy anything, yeah, you can buy it. Too right you can. Too right you can. Oh, and Sarah says, Pingu, yes, he will sell it. Yeah, I totally will. I totally will. Mr. Stephen Paddy said, is there any way of you helping about marketing or anything, the petrol station and the classic company down the road? That would be a brilliant job 2 minutes away from you. It really would. And I would love to get involved with that. I would love to get involved with that. And it was the first thing that I thought. And no is the quick and easy answer to that. The father, who is in his late 80s or something, he is the stumbling block. He's got no idea about it's a generational thing. It's a bit stereotypical. He doesn't understand the internet or anything like that. I've done some bits for the guys on the classic car side. I've shoved some customers their way, because they're superb at what they do. And certainly one guy who is in our community, not in a scrotum, but in our community, and a lovely chap who I like very much. Um, he's got some very exciting cars, and he had a car that he spent a fortune on, and nobody could fix the problem. He went to like a foremost UK expert on that particular car, and they only made it worse. And I met him. I actually met him originally at a Project Nigel meetup, and I said, once I established where he was from, I said, "Try these guys down the road from me." He said, "Oh, I've heard of them," and he actually took it to them. They did it. They cured it. They solved it, and they pointed out where the three previous classic art experts had gone wrong, and they sorted it, no problem. So I'd love to get involved down there. There's in an ideal world, then they've got that little sales pitch area down the side. Then if I could have some of my cars down there for sale, and look after their cars that they've got for sale, and did all of the marketing and whatnot for the classic car repairs and so on, that would be perfect. But this 89-year-old or whatever he is, Scottish father, he's just not interested whatsoever. I tried to talk to him, and he put a nonsensical valuation on renting that area of the pitch off him. Idiotic, absolutely idiotic. And so he buys cars as and when they become available. He puts them up for sale at a nonsensically inflated price, and they just sit there for years. And if you watch the videos when I go down there, you'll see that the same cars are there mostly, because the prices are so inflated that they're just never going to sell. And he doesn't need the money, so he doesn't care if they don't sell. It's a bit daft, really. But yeah, I would love to be involved down there, and may he have a long and healthy and happy life. But if at some point he stopped having that, and that space became available, because the other guys, the son David, I get on tremendously well with, and the guys that he works with. David runs the place, but his dad still owns it, and I get on really well with them. And David does understand all of that side of things, and David also understands YouTube and would love to be on it. He would love to be part of the channel. I've done some. It's a while ago now, but I did some videoing with him, and he loved it. He lapped it up, and it would be brilliant for them. It would be brilliant for me. The cars they get through there are amazing. Really, because of their reputation, they get really top level stuff. Plus, David is a racing driver, and a rather good one. And they race historic cars, and they have their own cars. He's got his own private collection. He's got, oh God, I can't tell you everything he's got in his collection, but I can tell you he's got an MG ZTT 260 V8, which has been in careful storage since it was like 6 months old, and it's got like 2,000 miles in it or something ridiculous. He's got an original Sierra Cosworth RS 500 with less than 1,000 miles on it. Silly stuff like that. So it would be brilliant. And again, in an ideal world, they would be looking after all of my cars and doing a wonderful, wonderful job on them. But I just haven't had the money to allow that to happen. So that's, well spotted, Mr. Stephen Paddy. That's an amazing opportunity, but at the moment, just can't happen. James Ray says, guys, I only got out of hospital the other day, but I was watching from there and it really cheered me up. I wasn't participating as where I was, but this channel kept me going and you're a great bunch. Oh, that's very kind. And glad you're out, James. Glad you're out and hopefully you're on the mend. Mustard has had 3 bowls of curry. Oh, how was your live, Mustard? You did a live tonight, didn't you? Neil has just polished off a vindaloo that he cooked from scratch. Steve KG had a packet of bacon and a sirloin. Bloody hell. Uh, Ross says, Boaty, it's a damn shame your business head isn't valued by the restaurant owners. From the outside, it does sound like they want you to do things as and when they decide, regardless of your input. Yeah, I can see why it seems like that. It's not quite as cut and dried as that, but yeah, maybe I've been making too many excuses. And I mean, the other thing is that people who worked there and worked with me, one person in particular, when they set up their own restaurant, they offered me the sun, the moon, and the stars to go with them and to do everything for them that they knew that I could have done for these guys. And I didn't do it. I didn't do it because they were setting up where they could be in competition with us. They were close enough. I did do it with some other guys. If the longer term of you will remember, uh, when when in-laws set up the restaurant in Castle Donington, I helped them set up. I did their marketing. I did all of their photography and stuff, and I got flamed for it, even though they weren't in direct competition or anything like that. Um, I did get a bit flamed for it. Bish wasn't happy about that at all. And they actually paid me properly. I mean, really properly. Oh, and James says, cheers, Neil. I was gutted for you and Sophie. Some people really are just evil. Yeah. Yep. Loyalty and love don't pay the bills, mate, says Caddy Sparks, and you're absolutely right. Who reported Boaty to the interweb gods, demands Matron. How do I highlight a comment to another user, please, says Steve KG. I think you need to be on a browser to do that. I don't think you can do it on the app. Somebody else might know better than I do. Get one of your fleets set up nicely, says Ross, and do the Uber Eats menu, log in Sheffield or somewhere. It's an option, isn't it? It is an option. Oh, and Mustard is also bored of takeaway curry. Yeah, Steve, I'm guessing you're on the app, and I think you need to be on. I think you do need to be on a browser to do that. Ben says, James, hope you're on the mend. I'm currently looking after mum following a fall. Oh no, and short hospital stay. Boaty's world, the cure all we all need. Ben, bless you and bless your mum. And I think I saw Ben, was that you, mate? Bless you. Sending a PayPal thing. I think that's you, isn't it? Thank you so much. Thank you. And thanks again to everybody else. Not just Uber Eats, says the M11, but there's also Deliveroo and Just Eat and maybe others. Friends and family on PayPal, though, says Mustard. Ah, yeah. If it's done friends and PayPal will take a little bit, but if you send it friends and family, then 100% of it does get through. Good point, Mustard, says Matron. Oh, okay, John, it's being talked about. I don't think it's being talked about. Almost certainly not a good idea, but yeah. Loyalty, says Caddy Sparks, no longer exists in the workplace anymore. It's all about making more money for the bosses or shareholder. My boss pays me 20 quid per hour, but charges the customers £50 per hour, no sick pay. Yeah, that's the way. I mean, yeah, I kind of understand capitalism because I was a capitalist myself, but I like to think that I was a decent boss. I was never unfair. I always made due allowances, and if people were doing a good job for me, then I shared everything, absolutely everything. And I read something in a book. It was a book called I Bought a Mountain when I was very young, but I never forgot it. And it was this: you cannot buy loyalty, but you can reward it. And I never forgot that. So, yeah, I always had a thing that when people went over and above, or when people were genuinely tried their best or were invested and stayed a longer time, I always tried to reward that. And God knows, I mean, the restaurant, I've been with them 8 years now. Admittedly, it only came about by accident, literally by accident. I needed something to, after my accident, and when I'd lost my job and I was going through all of the legal battle and the court battle, and I didn't even get benefits. I tried to sign on and I couldn't even get benefits to begin with because of some weird thing that I didn't even qualify for that. And I just needed to get some money and to eat somehow. That's how I started working for the thing. They just needed they always needed a delivery driver because they paid them sod all. And it was a really lousy job, but God, yeah. And of course, I was with Boo then, and Boo bought me a car. I didn't have a suitable car to do it. I think at the time I had a Lexus and a Jaguar left over from when I was not poor, and suddenly I'm incredibly poor. And Boo, bless her, bought me a little Nissan Micra called Bert the Racing Micra that we paid £200 for, a little black K11. And I thought, yeah, I'll go and deliver takeaways, get some money in. Ah, happy days. Your live stream started in October 2022, says Matron. Okay, so not quite. Where are we now? 2024. All right, so it's about 18 months, isn't it? About 18 months, not quite 2 years. We'll have to find out. Matron, can you find out when the first one was? And we'll have a 2-year anniversary party for it. I did enjoy your car show video, Emma Lemon. Made me chuckle. Me too. David Fisher says, is your Patreon set up yet? Yes, but again, it's not. Now, that is an interesting point, David. Thank you for the comment, by the way. I was asked by a couple of people to set up a Patreon thing, and I said, I've done it, and I've had it verified and all of that, but I've not published it because Oh, okay. Thank you, matron. That didn't take long. Um, I've not published it because I didn't know what to put on it to make it separate from YouTube channel membership. And I hadn't thought about that. Actually, matron, I just remembered there was one before that and I deleted it by mistake because I didn't know what I was doing with YouTube then. Yeah, the very first live stream ended up being deleted. God, I only just remembered that. So yeah, the Patreon thing. I didn't know what to put on it to differentiate it from YouTube channel membership. But hey, I don't have YouTube channel membership now, do I? So that is a good point. I will finish the Patreon thing, set it up, and publish it tomorrow. And I hate doing this. I hate doing this because I don't want to seem like money grabby or anything. But obviously, I need to update the description to these live streams and whatnot. It's a copy and paste job. Talks about channel membership, all of that. No point in that anymore, is there? Not for the next 3 months anyway. Not until the 27th of August, darlings, will be the big day when I can reapply for the YouTube partner program. So in the meantime, I guess I should put up the link for the PayPal thing in case any of you lovely people do want to support in any way that you can. And as I think I said earlier, my head really is all over the place. I'm so tired and upset. I am upset, and I'm not upset on my own behalf overly. You know, I'm 53 years old. I've had a hell of a lot go on in life. I've been in big business. I've had everything that goes along with that. I've buried all of my bloody family. There's not much that's going to wobble me, but what gets me is other people that I care about. And I'm upset on behalf of other people. When you get people who you know and you love, and they're just amazing people, and they ring you up and they're in tears, it just makes me, oh, that's what really makes me mad. You can pretty much say what you want about me, and it'll probably be okay. I mean, if you do it to my face, then I might punch you, unless you're bigger than me, and even then. But no, I probably wouldn't. Um, no, seriously, you can say what you like about me, but say it about my friends who are innocent and or hurt my friends or whatever, and I tend to get a bit upset. Anyway, that's getting kind of off topic a bit, isn't it? It does seem like yesterday, Bad Books. 20 months, and it seems like yesterday, the first live stream. It really does. Ben says, Father Boticus, give your Bishop Brennan PayPal a kick in the arse and see if it jingles. Bless you. I'm sure that's you, Ben. I don't know all of that many Bens. Obviously, I've got your proper full name here, but I'm sure that's you, and thank you very much indeed. I love rebellious Boaty and his sweariness, says Matron. It's definitely making him smile, says Steve. Oh, big debate. Scone, roll, tomato, or brown sauce. The big bacon debate. Well, there's no debate. What? Red sauce with bacon sandwich? No, 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 no. Mayo with bacon. Russ, you need help. You need intervention. Right. The correct dressing for a bacon sandwich or a bacon roll, don't argue with me. I'm right. You're wrong. HP sauce out of a glass bottle, an artistic deployal, and a light dusting of ground white pepper. Although I will accept HP fruity sauce or, as I pointed out, Branston rich and fruity sauce. They are acceptable alternatives. Do you guys meet up at all? Asked Steve KG. Where are we all? I'm in Essex. Yes, we have met up. People have. Oh God, we've had Sunday lunch meetups. We've had people have come and stayed here. People have come and visited me from Australia. How wonderful is that? Australia. As I think the M11 is about to point out, we've got a camping trip planned. We need more of that. More for this year. That's what I say. Oh, James is in Glasgow, so it makes it a little difficult to meet up. Try moving to Newcastle, says Washer Girl. Lots of job opportunities in the area. Gosh, that would be. I wonder if Newcastle still lives in. Oh no, she's married now, so I couldn't move in with her, could I? Peter P is in Finland. My husband has a Ford Cosworth, bright red, beautiful car, says Washy Girl. The M11 is pushing Monday nights and saying that people should go and watch that because you can see her. Quite right, too. Oh, Captain Mustard says, I've been offered an Audi A6 in exchange for Charles. Who the hell's Charles? Oh, right. Charles. Right. Yeah. Charles is the, an Audi A6. And Charles is the 75. It's not the two scoops Audi A6, is it? Oh, God, I would do that. Well, depending on what the Audi is like. Yeah, do it. Do it. Do it. I like an Audi A6. Evening, Boaty, said Shaz Brown. In your opinion, what is the most erotic pot noodle? Bombay Bad Boy, in my opinion. What a weird question. The most erotic pot noodle. Pot noodles have not played a massive part in my life, I have to say. I've got a vague recollection that I subjected myself to I think it was called a Bombay Bad Boy, and it was, inedible, as all pot noodles are, but inedible with a bit of a kick of spice. Oh, we've not talked about food today, have we? We've been banging on about everything else, and we haven't talked about food. Last night, I've got no idea what time I went to bed last night, darlings. I've got no memory of it whatsoever. I had to piece things together from the evidence that I came down to this afternoon because I didn't make it down here this morning. I might have by about 10 minutes. I think it was about 10 to 12 when I got downstairs. Apparently, from what I can see, I had curry last night. I can't be, I'm pretty sure I had curry because, have I still got the evidence? Oh, it's over there. There was a curry bowl and a naan basket, and they were both empty. And there was there were two saucepans that had been used, so there was no evidence of any food whatsoever. So I must have been hungry as well as being incredibly tired and somewhat drunk. And yeah, so from what I can work out, I had curry last night. I hope I enjoyed it. I'm sure I probably did. And for lunch today, darlings, Momo, 10 pieces of Momo with Momo chutney, and it was fabulous. Tonight will be, what have we got tonight? Oh, staff curry tonight from the freezer. And tomorrow lunch, Oh, God knows. Well, tomorrow breakfast I've told you about streaky bacon roll with, and then tomorrow lunch I think I'm going to have like a half portion of garlic and mustard chicken with. I've got four new potatoes that really need eating if they're not completely manky. They've been in the fridge for a while. And I'll either have those steamed and tossed in butter and mint and parsley, or parboiled and then roasted in infused olive oil with the garlic and mustard chicken, a few very fine whole green beans, and a bit of gravy, I think. There you go. That sounds quite nice, actually, doesn't it? Ah, you know, as long as you've got food in your life, life is good, isn't it? And, oh, you know, roof over the head. I'm not cold. I'm not hungry. I've got some cheap wine. I've got you guys. It's a good life, really, isn't it? And don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And don't let any arseholes. I can say arseholes. I can't be demonetized. Don't let an asshole stop you enjoying your life. That's the message of today. And if somebody offers to swap an Audi A6 for your Rover 75, swap it. Oh, it's an A6 Avant. A6 Avant. What's the Avant? Is that the estate? Is it? It's not that one, is it? Oh, God, I need to speak to you again tomorrow, unless you're replying to this and I haven't caught up with it yet. Is it two scoops? Has he offered a level swap on that POV spec Audi estate? Lewis Hamilton needs to be put to work, says Ross. Isn't it technically 4 months, as you have to wait a month for the YouTube income to drop in? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I suppose it is. If it all goes tits up at the restaurant, Boaty, says Pingu, remember you can stay in the caravan if the good captain lets you. And Pingu says, I can remember your first live stream many moons ago. Oh, no, it's a 2005 Avant diesel, says Mustard. Well, yeah, do it. Obviously, that's your family wagon, isn't it? Do it. Do that. That's your family wagon, and sell whatever the 416 Tourer thing is. Mrs. Doyle. Sell Mrs. Doyle. Audi A6s are cool. If you've got, if it's like a top spec one, they're really cool. They've got red buttons that light up everywhere, and they've got loads of really cool electric things. Matron is filling everybody in on what her and her sister have been up to today. Oh, Ben says, I've caught up on Project Nigel. I haven't commented there, but I feel the good captain's inspiration, videography, and editing has gone up a notch or three. Truly fantastic. Yeah. Oh, and Matron agrees with that. Oh, and it's not Johnny's. Okay. And Peter P says the cool electric things might even work because it's an Audi. I love an Audi A6. I do love an Audi A6, especially those from back in the day when they were these big, imposing pimp wagons. Get it swapped. Get it swapped. And if you don't like it, I'll swap it for one of mine. Right, darlings, it's time to go, isn't it? It's 26 minutes past midnight. Tonight has not been a normal live stream, not as abnormal as last night, but not entirely normal either. I know that I've been doing a lot of waffling. My head's still a bit all over the place. I'm so thankful to so many people. I'm not as I'm feeling better about things, a bit more confident about going forward and stuff. I'm not as you guys are amazing, and yeah, I know that as a community, individually and collectively, then I've got your back, and God knows you've got mine, and I'm really grateful for that. So we just need to, yeah. Yeah, we just need to move forward, don't we? And there we are. There we are. I'm really, without going into too much detail, I'm delighted that Neil and Soph have been out tonight, had a good night, feeling positive, because, you know, last night was pretty, not just what happened in the live stream and before, but as I say, afterwards turned out to be a late night. Hopefully, right, that's the message from tonight. Onwards and upwards for everybody. That's the way, innit? Thank you so much, my lovelies. I'm going to leave you in peace now. I've been waffling aimlessly long enough, or possibly way too long. Thank you again to everybody who's reached out in any way, shape, or form last night and today. It just means the absolute world. Thank you for the PayPal contributions that mean that I don't have to shit myself about how I'm going to cope over the next days and so on and so on and so on. And oh, just thank you for everything. That is indeed the title, matron. Don't forget to like, say, Mustard. I don't give a flying fuck if you like it or not. It's not a monetized channel. You can all call it a bag of shit. Oh, go on, tickle the like button. Why not? I'll be monetized again one day and it will all help get my percentage up. My percentage at the moment is 98.8% positive approval rating. I would like to get that to 99%. That would be nice. Right, that's it, darlings. It is. Oh, God, it was Mad Thursday tonight. I completely forgot about it. But, you know, things have been going on, haven't they? I will be back tomorrow night. It will be half an hour later because, you know, I get home later on Friday. So if you feel so inclined, do please join me tomorrow night at 11:30 for Friday Night Live. Hopefully things will be a little bit more back to normal. I won't be quite so sleep deprived and generally all over the place like a mad woman's drawers. Yeah, let's have Mad Friday instead. Title, I don't give a fuck if you like it or not. Yeah, let's have a Mad Friday. That would work. We've had last night, we've had tonight. Let's just have a Mad Friday where we all let ahead and have a bit of fun. And yes, let's do that. So I will see you all tomorrow night for Mad Friday. Thank you all again, especially you. Oh, you all know who you are. You all know who you are. Thank you so much. It means more than it genuinely means more than I can say, which is odd for me because I can normally say all sorts of things. But there we are. Have a safe and peaceful night, please. Have the best day that you can tomorrow. Take every little bit of joy you can from it, wherever and whenever you can. Look after yourself. And if you've got anybody that you love or who loves you, look after them too. And if you can, join me tomorrow night, 11:30, Mad Friday Night Live. Thank you again. And God bless you all. For you and indeed. Oh yeah, Mad Friday.